All right. Hi, everyone. It's Bill Corcoran here with Chuck, and we have two special guests this week for Tranont Men's Health What's Up Weekly. And so, episode 10, it's a celebration. So, we had to bring on some of our guests from the first 10 episodes. So, we're pretty proud of that. So, thank you, Clay. Thank you, Josh, for joining us. I'll throw it to you in a second. Just to everybody that's watching this right now, we're so flabbergasted with just the support, the likes, the comments of what that means in our main groups for Tranont and the ripple effect. So, just keep that coming. We're here to represent the group. So we're eternally grateful. And it's been, 10 episodes, Chuck. We've known each other for about
And
like 2 weeks longer than that. So that's amazing. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty cool.
All right. So basically always start with an intro for those people that may not know. I think everybody knows who our guests here are because they're so involved in the company, of course, and successful and know a lot about the products and the business. But I'll throw it to you, Clay, first. Quick introduction of who you are, where you're from, and why Tranont.
Yep. Hey everybody, I'm Clay Richardson, Blue Diamond from Keller, Texas. We have been in Tranont since 2020. My wife and I both are part of the company, and we run it together, as well as several other couples do. And that's one of the reasons why we chose Tranont. It's not just directed towards women and or a men's network marketing company. We are able to run this thing collaboratively, as a lot of couples have done and are doing right now. A little bit of backstory on Tranont itself. The company was founded in 2013. It was started as a financial company itself. Within that financial realm of the company itself, it was in the Inc. 500 and Inc. 5000 list back to back, 2 years in a row, and then a third year in a row in 2019. So outside of just the network marketing industry itself, just in any business, traditional business, for that to go back to back on the Inc. 500, the list on that is minimal. And that's in any industry, not just network marketing. So that just puts us a leg up 10 times as any other network marketing company has done on their achievements that I know of personally. And then to hit it on the Inc. 5000 list again, I mean, that's just icing on the cake, right? It's really amazing. We started on a product experience. We started on a CBD. We have a spray, a rub, and a droplet soothe. And that's how we started as a product experience. A friend of ours came over from traditional business in town, and this was prior to us starting Tranont, right? So let me kind of preface that. Bree had a little pain in her back. Bree's my wife, and Sarah was like, "Oh, well, we have this stuff. Why don't you try it?" Bree's like, "Okay, well, what is it? Tell me a little bit about it." And at the time, we were looking a little bit, not really hardcore, but when Bree put a couple of drops on her tongue, whole flower plant fluid, we'll get in that here in a little bit, but within 10 minutes, her pain was gone. Like their little catch in the back, gone. So we're like, okay, well, we have something going here, right? Her dad, same issue. He's had back issues for years. Same thing. Put some drops on the tongue, and he was like, Bree, I had a level 10 and it dropped it down to a level 2. And let me tell y'all, he is on prescription drugs, multiple a day, and this helped him alleviate his pain, right? Doesn't for everybody, have to say that, but for everybody that we've used it with and on ourselves, we even use it on our kids. So it's very safe. And that once that product showed that type of results that fast, we were like, okay, we have something here, right? So then we delved in, comp plan, met with corporate staff, which are by far the most amazing people, collectively group of guys that we've ever met in the industry. And honestly, even outside, they're very caring. They work with the field. It's not just you stay in your lane, corporate stays in theirs. We work collaboratively on so many things, and that is really unheard of in this industry. Comp plan is second to none, which Billy will get into a little bit. It really is amazing. And we'll get into culture and all that stuff here in a little bit about how the comp plan really brings everybody together with the products. that are amazing, and the corporate leadership, it really is second to none. So we'll kind of explain more of all of that here in the rest of the call. Billy.
Yep, and I'm going to throw it to Josh as well.
Hey, so I'm Josh Jaetzold. I'm from Orange, Texas, and so even though I'm in Orange, I'm in Texas, and so is Clay. You know, Texas is pretty big, so we actually live about 6 hours apart. So, but I'm Ruby leader in the business. So is my wife, and I actually got into the business because of her. She had product experience, and it has been really, really life changing for us. So, you know, we'll talk more about that culture and everything else. I don't have a whole lot to add after what Clay said here, so we'll get back to it, and then we'll cover some of the comp plan and some other things in a little bit. So,
thanks. Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, I mean, if it's your first time watching, I'm Chuck O'Donnell. I've only been with the company for a couple of months. And we keep talking about culture, and I know we're going to talk about it later on. But I just can't get over how, I want to say, much fun and how better I feel. I mean, you got the products and you got the people. I love doing this with Billy every single week and meeting people like Josh and Clay. And it has changed my life in a different way too. Forget about the health aspect, but it's made me better at the other aspects of my life, my other job and at home and stuff. And you can't put a price on that. You really can't. So, and that's my biggest reason for being here. So, Billy?
And where are you from?
Oh, sorry about that. New Jersey. I can't believe it. If you would have told me, you know, before I moved to New Jersey, when I moved to New Jersey, the company that I was with said, we need you to go to Jersey. And I said, I'll go there for a year. I don't want to stay. I don't want to be in Jersey. And that was, I don't know, 27, 28 years ago. And I've been here ever since. So
yeah.
Wow.
And you got this comment from work. You're some of your colleagues think you're 45. And how old are you?
Oh my gosh, no, listen, people have a hard time. So first of all, they watch how I work, right? And I'm not one of those kind of guys that just kind of sits around. I jump in with everybody, roll up the sleeves and get dirty with them. And then when they see the energy level, especially now, and they see the attitude, less anxiety, you know, just happy. Customers comment about they want what I'm on, you know, and I'm like, well, I can tell you what I'm on. So yeah. It's been great. Yeah. But they usually peg me around 45. I'll turn 59. As a matter of fact, I'm going to turn 59 today. So as everybody watches this, everybody can wish me a happy birthday. So that'll be awesome.
That is awesome. Thanks, Chucky. So my name's Bill Corcoran. I'm 15 months into my journey with Tranont, and I've loved every minute of it. I met Clay in my first week, so we talk about that culture of how open people are, no matter what level or rank. We're here to support each other. So again, it's been a journey. I've learned so much. I was brought together by a product too. I was looking for one that actually had biotin in it, and I came across Glow. I'm like, oh, what's that? Because there's a lot of associations with the word collagen and my male friends anyways about saying, okay, well, what is it? And so just dispelling what that was, and that was the product that drew me in. Then I started looking at all the amazingness that this company has to offer with all the incentives, the compensation plan, and all their product lineup, which we'll obviously talk about today. So I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, and I just turned 40 and this past year, and I can tell you that I feel like I'm 25 or 30. I wish I felt like this at that age because you just have more energy to enjoy life at this point, and you feel so much better and lighter. So I think that brings us all together. We're just saying, like, how do you meet this group of people I would have never met in my whole life and just feel like you're kind of friends through this when you've never physically met? And I know there's lots of chatter going through with our Leadership Academy coming up. That's in Vegas in September, of how people have been friends for years, and this is the first time they're going to meet face to face. So that's the power of what this company has to offer. But so let's kind of jump in a little bit. We've done a lot of episodes and where we've touched on the power of the compensation plan, but we kind of, went through the product or products that people were using, and that's usually what brings people in, of course, how good they are, how clean they are. But we don't get to spend a ton of time on the compensation plan to the amount that we actually want to. So this 10th episode is all about the business plan, and we can't not talk about the products when we talk about the business, but we're really going to dig in here. So the compensation plan, the bonuses, the rankings, that type of thing, I'm going to obviously defer to the experts there, and we'll fill in some different aspects. Being from Canada, I'll kind of fill in that Canadian aspect, and of course, there's other countries that are on Tranont as well, that there's nuances, but that's all on the website and through your upline that can help support you on those ones. So Clay, I guess when we dig into the compensation plan and all these things, I know you and Josh are going to talk about it. So where do we start? If somebody was just watching this for the first time and said, okay, well, compensation plan, what does that mean? Where do we go from here?
Yeah, so of course, pretty much with you watching this, you can reach out to any of us. If you have any questions about products, compensation plan, what is Tranont, who is Tranont, what do we do, what are we for? We're here to answer all of your questions. Going back on that, you pretty much start out as an associate, which is pretty much you just sell products. Once you get to a certain point, you reach the next level, and the next level from that. So, yeah, you want me to do comp plan in America or?
Yeah, go ahead. I know that you and Josh were coordinating some of those ideas, so I'll just kind of run off of that and that piece. But yes, coming in, you kind of sign up and say, okay, you love the product so much, or you've done so much research and seen testimonies of people that I'm going to jump in right away.
You're gonna sign up. Yeah. So exactly. Signing up as an associate, you pretty much can only sell products. You get 25% commission on all of the things you sell. So if you sell $1,000 worth of products, you get $250. Like Billy's saying, if you wanted to sign up, love Tranont, you jump to the Jade position, you get 200 PV, then you can start getting a monthly team bonus and then start earning different actually launch bonuses. Pearl and above is a couple steps above that. Then you start being eligible to be participants in the incentive trips, and then TLA, and then all the summits that we have. So we have like a Ruby Base Camp, an Emerald Camp, Diamond Summit, all of these big leadership meetings that you can be included in if you decide to jump in.
Yeah, and you also get bonuses at each level, right? So the $250 bonus you said, I think that's at J, the first level. And at that point, your commission increases, right? So you go from just having an affiliate link when you sign up to where you can give that link to people and they can purchase product from you and you get some commission on it. Whenever you rank up, you get a couple of people selling with you, your commission increases and you get a bonus. And then as you rank up, your bonuses just go up from there. It's pretty impressive. So I know Clay's wife and my wife both earn full-time income from it. And, I earn pretty good myself with it. And I know Clay does too. So, I haven't retired yet, but, I might get there one day. That's my plan.
So let me ask you guys a question. Why do you think so many people are skeptical about what we do and how we believe in it?
I feel and then Josh can speak afterwards if he feels so. I just think that there's the stigma out there in the market from back when there was actually legit pyramid schemes. Now the FTC has cracked down on network marketing's companies so much that we legit can't, I guess, scam people, especially with us having Tranont being part of a financial institution because we offer retail services, insurance, life insurance. We are even under the microscope even more, right? So for me, I think it's just that people, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but they just don't know about the new way of network marketing or direct selling. I just think that it's just that kind of stigma out there in the market that still is reluctant. And we get it from people our age, unfortunately, and we're just like, well, why do you think that? Well, because my mom and dad did this company 30 years ago and then they lost everything, or that it's just not the way it is anymore. And I mean, we've been saying it for a long time. Well, you might be skeptical of network marketing. Well, I'm skeptical of going to work 8 to 5 every day and working for somebody else. That scares me.
Yep,
right.
Making them money. Yep.
Yeah. And that's kind of how we feel. And that's how we teach, I think, our people and our team, that if you are skeptical, reach out. We'll answer everything we can. If not, I will find you the answer and we can work collaboratively together. on making you a part of Tranont if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to learn. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, so I feel the same way Clay does, but I think to add to that, there's also this there's this mindset that has to be broken, you know, and the mindset I think comes, I think it's our fault. I think it's our parents' fault, you know. I think that we're expected to go to school, do the best that we can, go to college, get a job, go work for the man, you know, and nothing wrong with that. I did that. Lots of people do that, right? There's a lot of successful people that do that. But I think now with the internet and with social media, the sky's the limit. I mean, there are people, there are influencers on YouTube making I mean, it's just ridiculous, right? It's totally opposite of what we were taught growing up. And so I know I've been guilty of teaching my children the same thing: go to school, good job, you know. And here in the last maybe 5 or 6 years, I've been not so adamant about that. I still want them to go to school. I still think those things are very important, but you know, I want you to think out of the box. I want you to do what you want to do and go after your dreams. And I think that mindset is hard to change in people that grew up a different way.
Right. Now I agree with you. I think like I want to break that skepticism too with my friends, you know, and I think the biggest way, or maybe the easiest way, is just to get them to try the product. Once they try the product, then they're kind of bought in, right? It's just getting them to do that first and just try it. Why they won't try it, I have no idea. But in this day and age, what do they say? You need 3-4 different sources of income. And this is a great way to make income and help people have better lives, right? And what better story to tell than a lot of other companies out there selling you some piece of plastic that's going to not be around in a year or two, right? So there's not very many companies that from a culture standpoint and from a base pay, if you want to call it that, versus commission standpoint, that can do what Tranont can do for people. And somehow that message has got to get out there, especially to guys. I just think, you know, it's such an untapped, which is why Billy and I started doing this, there's just untapped potential in guys that could benefit from this and feel better about themselves. So, right, Billy?
Yeah, and it wasn't that. Yeah, it wasn't that it wasn't happening within Tranont. It just wasn't happening in a way that was more centralized. So we thought we saw a niche there just to kind of put it out. And you realize that there's so many mojo mornings and so many different things that are happening. So it's not like it's not being tried in all our friends and circles. We just wanted to put, when we come back to the compensation plan, I've been the first and foremost, like I'm newer to this process. I'm learning along the way. I've been very fortunate. I've ranked a Jade twice. So people who think that I'm doing this and I'm super successful, I'm working hard. I'm learning about it. When I first started, I got the 10 and 3 bonus. I was ecstatic. You know, that means I signed up 10 customers and got 3 associates with me in my first month. That was great. But the key thing for me is that we, you know, in that education, like the business world of things is so different for me, being in education. But there's a lot of transferable skills of leadership and how do you know, that rapport you get with people, that communication piece. So I'm being transparent here because sometimes you kind of think, you know, that everybody that's doing these calls is, you know, super successful. And I am, because I'm learning and moving forward. And at the very least, I'm able to, you know, roll some of my commissions into the product that I know works. At the very least, I'm getting healthier. Now, you and I are in different places. We're all in different places, but that just shows that anybody that's watching this can just put that intentionality into this piece, and have success. And very least, we meet on different nights that accommodate, and we obviously put on the show and keep in touch. But we're just talking about the busyness of life, and we're all busy on this call, but this show kind of keeps us grounded even on the craziest of days, to say we're going to meet, we're going to keep ourselves accountable, and then be able to get healthier and get more knowledgeable. And so that's priceless. You can't even put anything on that. But there was one thing I was looking, when I was researching it, I see a lot of these posts about Jeeps. What's that all about? Maybe I'll throw it to Clay.
Jeeps, that's Josh, 100%.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I know I've seen his post, but I didn't know. I was just taking a shot at that.
Yeah, we have one too, but that's his deal.
Yeah, okay.
The Jeeps are my absolute favorite thing about the company. I'm telling you. I mean, other than the people and the culture, but as far as the ways we get paid, you know, I've always been a big truck guy. I had an F-250. I've always had trucks that pull stuff, hunt, fish, all that stuff. But you know, Jeeps are all right. I didn't really think much of them. And then my wife got one. she qualified for the stipend. She got a Jeep and kind of fell in love with it. And then I thought, well, it's cool. I'm glad you have one. You know, I'm still good with my truck. Then she qualified for a second one. I thought, well, you know, they make this Jeep truck, the Gladiator. So why would I not get paid to drive a vehicle, right? So I went and got a Gladiator. And let me tell you, I'm absolutely in love with this thing. It's so much fun to drive. I never in a million years thought that I would like it as much as I do. I'm a big guy, you know, Jeeps are a little bit smaller, but I'm gonna tell you, I fit in it just fine. It is a blast to drive. They're like Legos, you know, they really are. They're like Legos for guys. You can do, if you can think of something you want to do to it, there's a product you can put on it. And just, it's unbelievable that we both, my wife and I both get paid to drive our vehicles, and they're cool and they're fun. It's not a pink Cadillac or some, you know, I mean, it's a fun vehicle. And yeah, that's my thing. So you actually earn a Jeep stipend at the very first level in this business. So I believe it's the same for Canada.
Yeah, very first level.
And then a couple of levels up from there, it increases. So, you know, it's just a really, really amazing benefit. And you know, it frees up some money that most people are having to pay that note, you know, and it's really nice to not have to worry about that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm waiting and can't. I've looked at them in hopes of one day kind of getting there sooner. Now, with the 3 kids and the stereotypical 3 kids who play hockey, I just got to make sure I can fit those hockey bags and the goalie pads and everything in there. So they gotta, right now I'm in minivan mode, so I'm gonna have to see what's going on there. Maybe they'll make a big enough one. So I'll have to correspond with you, Josh, there to make sure I get the right fit.
Yeah, man, you might have to go for the Wagoneer. But I'll tell you, Clay and they'll have a really nice Cherokee that's got a lot of room. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's 3-row seats, everything.
Yeah. So when you start out and kind of there's different incentives too. So like when you get going and you obviously we've talked about the Jeep bonus and the stipends that happen in each level and the 10 and 3. And I think that there's definitely 5 and 2 that's been introduced over time. So same concept,
Yep.
you know, 5 customers, 2 associates each calendar month. It gets you a bonus. It's not quite half, but I think it's close to it. But there's also those abilities to kind of move and get additional bonuses when you're starting that momentum. I know people have asked me a little bit about that when I share the information, like the run to Sapphire, like those different things that come out.
Yeah.
If we asked you, how would you
Trailblazer
summarize
bonuses.
that? Yeah.
Yeah,
How would you
so
summarize that?
Yeah, so we have Trailblazer bonuses. So once you hit a rank, if you hit it within a certain amount of time, you get paid as that rank. Or if you get more than 80% of the way. So like if you're, you have to be, trying to think, Ruby. So from Ruby to Sapphire, if you're Sapphire 80% of the way, but you're still Ruby and you have not hit Sapphire yet, you'll get paid as Sapphire, right? And those are just, that's just one of the bonuses that we get paid on. And then like what Billy was saying, I mean, we have a 10 and 3 bonus, like he said, 10 customers, 3 associates in 1 month, and then break it down even less, more of a quick win, right? So you have 5 associates or 5 customers, 2 associates in your first month, you get a bonus, right? So Tranont is and that kind of what even Josh was saying, they're financially based because they want to get you as much money in your pocket as fast and as easy as possible, right? And like what Josh was saying, with a Jeep stipend, that's $350 or $500 in America that you could go out, get a free car payment, and then that frees up money to go buy groceries or towards rent or whatever that most of, everybody needs. We had a friend of ours said she took her family out to dinner the other night. It was $80 for fast food, not even like a sit down restaurant. So all of these little bonuses and quick wins, they help everybody across the board. And honestly, we need it now more than ever.
Yeah, and in Canada, the first level for the Jeep stipend is $450. So yeah, just kind of the same rate. It's all correlated. The company does a good job on that. And even the small wins, like $80 is huge. Like I went out for anniversary dinner with my wife and I paid with debit. And it felt so good to not have to worry about it because I had some money coming in from that. And those are the small wins, going to the driving range at the golf course and just paying debit and not being stressed about just how all those things add up. It's huge. But the key word that we keep on saying is stipend and bonus. Out of all of this, where you're still getting your commission. And that's
Oh, yeah.
like, that's
Yeah.
so well, that's what I'm saying. No, we know, I'm just reminding the people that are watching this, like, you're still getting your 25%, 50% in Canada. That's where you start. You get that plus all this, and it's so attainable at the first level. And it's such an incredible piece. And I was talking to somebody about that today, like the inverse of being able to have that Jeep stipend is like, okay, if you're getting 450 Canadian, or the American versions, depending on the rank, that money can go into different aspects of life. It's huge, as you described. It's indescribable, really. But yeah, absolutely amazing.
And it's really cool that they pay the commissions weekly.
Yes,
You get paid weekly.
Yep.
It's neat to hear how people kind of use that as well, because we, in Canada, we are continuing to get checks for a good chunk of time. And then I think it evolved out of the States, and the pay quicker is kind of coming there. How some people, they get it, they love it, how it's weekly, but sometimes each individual said, oh, I'm going to keep it until it hits this amount, or I'm going to cash it out right away, or I'm going to leave it for a month. And kind of like, it's neat how everybody internalizes those wins, even though the pay weekly is, you're immediately rewarded for your work. It kind of cuts off on Saturday night, and then the next Friday, there it is. Like, it's really intrinsic, because, and not even intrinsic, it's physical reward, because it's not 2 weeks later. It's right there. So it's pretty amazing. Yeah. What are you thinking, Chuck?
No, I was just thinking that there's got to be people out there that think they can't do it, and I think that they're wrong, because I don't have any ties, I don't have any followers, I don't have any of that kind of stuff, and not that I'm hitting it out of the park, but it is exciting to talk about, and you can watch it slowly build, and then you just get this feeling based on the community that we have and stuff that it's going to happen. Like, and everybody there is supporting you for all the right reasons, and you're learning from everybody, and you maybe do this wrong or that wrong, but who cares? You're doing something and you're moving the needle. And then, Billy and I, we've talked about it. All of a sudden, a couple of orders come in because people are watching all the time and doing this, right? And for those people who think they can't do it, you most certainly can. I'm not coming at this with, my wife still works for a different company, so I can't bring her followers along with me. And I'm going to do this from ground zero, and slowly but surely we're going to build this up. And I feel very confident about doing that. So for anybody out there who thinks they can't, they most certainly can.
Yeah, and in my case, for myself, it's not even about, what my significant other thinks about the company. Is she has no issues with the company or the products, but she's not an associate. And so even just sharing something on social media, she's not there. She's kind of isolated. So for myself, I don't have that partner within house to take advantage of it. So I'm trying to really look at what that means to kind of not have that advocacy of that stereotype of, female. If my wife liked something, then, all of her friends would immediately be doing that. So I'm learning a lot things along the way that kind of go into that piece as well. So yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about the culture and community within that piece, so I don't think we need to name it. But is there anything, I think, within that these events that we're talking about? So not even just the incentive trips, but the leadership academy. So obviously, it's an opportunity for people to obviously learn, which is huge from the business aspect. But that camaraderie, that getting to meet people face to face, is our opportunities. There's one in Canada coming out to the West Coast. I know it's been tried in different places in Canada. Venues were an issue at the moment, but it is there, and there are people all over, the country, in Canada and North America, the US, of course, and all of the other countries that are coming in. So it is becoming, a global. And I know there's room for expansion, and there is plans for expansion very soon. You hear it coming down the pipes. So I think for myself, we've hit it right out of the park on this one. We've really dug into the everything that we kind of wanted to dig in deeper to on each call. But do you want to add anything before we kind of toast to 10 episodes?
I'm good. No, I'm good.
You're
I'm good.
All righty. So you know, I think we're going to say bye after the toast, but before we do that, Clay, of course, appreciate you being here. You're busy, your family, I see your posts, you're busy
good.
in the time here. Same with you, Josh. You got a busy life, and I know you're busy with your own business. Just to be here with us is appreciated. Chuck, eternally grateful for this partnership. Of course, 10 is just the beginning, but it's a nice number to hit and to continue the momentum that we go. But anyways, we thought that we would celebrate with a toast, a shot. But of course, in Tranont fashion, we're going to give ourselves a nice shot of Glow Liquid Collagen, because guys do it, right? That's the biggest thing about these things is, yes, we are guys. So we're going to pour ourselves a nice shot here in a glass, if you choose to use a glass, or you're just going to take a swig, I think. Anyways, I just want to say cheers to the four of us. Cheers to the guests that have been on before, and cheers to everybody that
Thank
was part
y'all.
of it.
To the future, man.
Yep.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Hey,
All right.
thanks, guys.